Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. My voice is not feeling that good right now, so apologizing for it in advance. If I'm not making a ton of sense, or if my voice sounds a little hoarse, it's just kind of how it is. Alright, we're going to do one more request that was on my immediate list. I'm sure there have been more requests recently, but I still have to take them all into account. And then we'll go through a couple of scenarios that I found on my own time that I think sound interesting. Starting with Furry Takeover, though. This is the one that was requested. I didn't pick this one myself, it was requested. But, come on! You get a picture of, like, a fox man playing a electric keyboard. And I don't know what this is in the corner, but if you squint in your eyes, it looks a little bit like Darth Vader. So, I don't know, it just kind of caught my interest. I gotta give it a shot. An artificial retrovirus that disseminates animal DNA from transmission vectors into human chromosomes, causing drastic changes into human-animal hybrids. Will you help furries make their dreams come true, make them the dominant race? Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because you would think that if there are multiple, like maybe hundreds of different species integrating into human chromosomes, that there would be multiple new species. You know, they wouldn't be one race, right? They'd all be different, but apparently that's the only thing that matters. Or are they to become raging animals to destroy humanity? That also sounds pretty good. Easy scenario, that's fine. I don't mind if the scenario is easy, as long as it is interesting, so let's give it a shot. Normal difficulty sounds fine, and I'm going to call it Fuzzball. Anthrocon, a bioengineer and member of the furry community, is doing a panel where he shows off his work in making real furries a reality. That sounds like the sort of thing that the government should crack down on pretty quick. It's like, I don't care if they sign some consent papers, you do not have the authority to change their DNA and make new species. You would think, but apparently it's totally okay. Anthrocon. Oh, I get it now, like it's a convention. Got it. See, this is why bioengineers should not be allowed to have furry tendencies. They might become mad scientists. Oops, stupidly, he brought a vial of the contagion with him. The I think you mean unnamed scientist accidentally drops the vial and it breaks. Now all hell, or maybe a little slice of furry heaven, is about to break loose. We'll see about that. Starting off in the United States, without really any choice in the matter. That sounds pretty good. Alright, transmission, what do we got? Small animal transmission. The retrovirus copies key developmental genes in small animals like rats and ferrets, and begins to use these animals as transmission vectors. Cats and dogs, and birds. Domestic birds, sorry. People can turn into parakeets. Sort of, kind of. I'm seeing transmission vectors a lot. Somebody likes to say, there it is again, transmission vectors. Somebody really likes the word transmission vectors. That's 2 words, I apologize. Waterborne for short periods and airborne for short periods. Basically the exact same thing. Okay, sounds pretty reasonable. For symptoms we have furry culture. The furry community encourages closeness between members, spreading infection at conventions and fur meets. What the heck is a fur meet? Do I want to know? No, I don't think I do. Closeness between members and tight-knit organizations. Sounds kind of like a cult, but alright. Mass DNA replacement. Retrovirus has replaced a significant amount of human DNA with animal DNA, causing more significant changes to begin. Ears begin migrating to the top of the head. Again, we saw this with the Sonic Fever scenario, and it sounds incredibly painful. And it should be a lot more severe than that. Why are your ears on the top of your head? I don't know. Must be some unknown virus. We should probably look into that. You'd think. Abilities. We have our drug resistance, heat resistance, cold resistance, and viral instability for mutation. Increases lethality. The retrovirus is too complex to handle ordinary viral RNA fragmentation. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that actually could be kind of useful. I might actually, if I'm going for a lethal playthrough, I'm actually be more inclined to go for that than I usually would be. All right, well, for transmissions, I actually did not mean to get avian transmission. I accidentally left-clicked and right-clicked at the same time, and apparently they made a decision for me. Okay. We did not get, I don't know if we started off with, like, transstasis or anything. Does it say? No. I have no idea what, traits we started off with, but... So the United States is considered urban, yes? Yes, they are. So let's go ahead and grab small animal transmission. For the rats, that's usually pretty good. It doesn't specify that this stuff is, like, for wealthy / rural / whatever. But I know that typically, rats have to do with urban. Furry culture mutated. Yep. Turns out these people have agency, and they have started doing this stuff of their own accord. A drastic increase in the number of small furry conventions concern parents of young adults. 13 people are infected, but that's all it takes. It's a drastic increase, because it was what, originally 1? I don't know. So that unlocks what? Internet. Oh good, the furries invent the internet. Al Gore was a furry. confirmed. Much of furry culture takes place online, and so with the outbreak, some non-furries turn to online furry communities for guidance. Misspelled guidance there, but that's alright. So they're non-furries, but they're inclined to go and get guidance on how to become a furry? Is that what you're trying to suggest? Because I think it would make more sense if some new furries who've been converted but have no idea what's happening to them look to the internet for guidance. That would make a little bit more sense to me. Furry behavior. Most furries are young and sexually active and very touchy-feely. Oh, those hormental furries. It's like the new freaking teenagers. Yeah, I was kind of hoping this is not going to go in a sexual direction. We'll see. University debate controversy. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, like, that's a thing on the internet with, like, furries. I don't get it. Does not appeal to me. Doesn't make a lick of sense, but there you go. Let's go for avian transmission for the extra land transmission. It's usually pretty good. Internet symptom mutated. Well, they got onto the internet without my permission. Got through the parental blockers. Now we're going to have to live with that. Let's go for... The thing is, I could go for some animal transmission and see what's in the middle. It actually could be really good. You never know. Let's go for that. There might be some sort of zoonosis or something, and I would say normally go for, like, some water or something so we're more likely to get into some islands, but... I mean, I'm curious, you know? I'm a curious sort. Like someone curious about furriness. But I'm not the experimental sort, so... Online community, mutated for free, that was a new one we haven't seen. Furries guide infected into the community and encourage them to infect others. Or at least resist treatment for their condition. Misspelling there. Encouraging them to infect others. We are being transformed into horrible mutant monsters like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go forth and infect others. That sounds horrible. That's a call to action if I've ever heard one. Extreme zoonosis. Infection crosses all mammalian, avian, and reptilian species barriers, creating potential for tens of thousands of furry subspecies. Well, it detected us, and the entire United States has been infected, so that makes me sad. Alright, let's go for the extreme zoonosis that leads to rage. Oh, lethality. Okay, infected animals become deranged and attack humans. Very infective, though. Not sure we need that right now. So, do you want the mass DNA? That's just severe. It doesn't give me anything I want. Furry behavior to be sexually active? Alright, that leads to furry mentality. Furries are inclusive of others and able to freely express themselves in a variety of ways. Sound like a bunch of college hippies. College hippies, gosh dang hippies, I hate them. I don't know. Oh, we got the mass DNA replacement, so ears are migrating now. Let's go for some cold and heat resistance, just a little bit, since the United States is really not either of those things, so at least one level in both I think is more or less a requirement. The United States is finally shutting down some land borders. Could go for some more drug resistance, and I think I will. We have dental rearrangement, shape of face changes, growing a muzzle and new teeth. Process causes pain, making it difficult to focus on complex tasks, so until growth is complete. Hormone production changes, causing libido increase. Hair growth, early transcriptions of RNA causes thicker, faster growing hair. And olfactory acuity. An infected individual's nose becomes more sensitive to smells, which does not appear to do a dang thing. These symptoms, they don't seem to help me in a lot of ways. I mean, I could go for the furry mentality, but I think it might more sense to go for a level of water transmission. We've actually gotten a pretty good amount of air transmission in a lot of places so far, so yeah, level of water, in fact 2 levels of water is probably warranted. We infect a place incredibly fast, though. Like, once we've gotten in, like, holy cram. There must be, like, okay, so the author must have changed some of the countries and increased to the susceptibility to the infection. At least that just seems likely to me. Ocular acuity, number of rod and cones yeah, okay, the rods and cones in the eyes increase, allowing individuals to see greater distances, and for some, in the dark. Let's go for furry mentality. That leads to animal mentality, slightly lethal. In some cases, the animal mentality takes over, causing the infected to act like the animal they are transitioning to. Okay, how are we looking? I could use actually a little bit more heat resistance, I think. Let's go ahead and grab that. So yeah, I guess I should save up some DNA and keep going for more symptoms at this point. Let's go for dental rearrangement. Spinal growth. In an extremely painful process, the spine begins growing, poozing out of the body and becoming a tail. Oh god, that sounds horrifying. Very difficult to concentrate during this time. You don't say! Furries form communities, infected at creating communities for themselves and fear protection. Why is Fear a word that just gets misspelled all the time? It's so easy to mess that up. Not sure why. Alright, well, the spine is growing out into a tail. It would take an incredible stoic to be able to just push through that, you think, you know? It's just, oof, man. Alright, do we want hormones? I'm gonna go for ocular activity. That leads to aural acuity, inner ear structure. This doesn't do much for me. What do I care about this? Hair growth? Follicle diversification? Fur, feathers, and scales depending on the animal? Sure. Total coverage. Fur, sure, I guess we'll grab that. Species adaptations. The most dangerous and extreme part of transformation. Infected individuals grow and adapt species-specific traits, like wings, paws, and digitigrade legs? Not sure what that's supposed to be. Hormones, neural chemistry, also misspelled. Brain chemistry changes, causing inhibitions to break down, resulting in acting out in both sexual and non-sexual ways. Well, I'm glad you specified that, thank you. What are we missing, by the way? None of the countries in the world. Okay. So, I'm kind of curious if we just infect the world, do we win? I mean, I don't necessarily need to go for any lethality. Let's grab neural chemistry. Animal neural pathways. New genes cause the emergence of minor animalistic behaviors such as licking and playful scratching, mixed with human gestures of petting fur. Grab that. Neurogenesis. Animal and human brain functions chemistry synchronize, perfectly blending human and animal mentalities without sacrificing sanity or intelligence or creativity. Sounds like a winning condition if I've ever heard one. So I think that's the one we're going to have to go for. Grab. Canada begins to break down. Animal mentality. No, stop killing people. Devolve. I don't want you to kill anybody. Oh no, they're dying anyway. I have no lethality. Species adaptations. Well, I didn't want that. Complete transformation. A dominant species. First death in Kazakhstan. I mean, the cure is practically not even a thing right now. Australia's leading the cure effort. They're finally getting started on the cure. For all the good it will do you. Furry takeover symptom. Whoa, whoa, we mutated a few things. All right. So we got the dominant species, and now we have furry takeover. They are the dominant species. Oh, okay, interesting. I assumed that we'd be able to access that from here on the right at some point, but no, you have to go all the way up here. All right, is that a winning condition? Because I'm pretty sure... Well, not quite. I was about to say the entire world's been infected, but it's not true. Almost true. And there's the animal mentality again. All right, go ahead, have fun, kill some people. I'm not going to stop you this time. Dominance. Lots of mutations coming through so far. Some furries, no longer content to wait for their time, begin aggressively infecting healthy people or killing them to further the cause. Proper revolutionaries there. Regression. Animal behaviors can become aggressive when startled or agitated, like an animal trapped in a cage. So, who's not infected? There are no healthy people in the world. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab this now because I want to see what else is in the tree. Gastrointestinal change. Regress individuals' dietary needs change to match their species, and predators will hunt for the their food. I think you mean gastrointestinal, if I had to guess. And then complete feral reversion. Furries reaching this state go completely feral and become extremely dangerous. You know, you wouldn't know it, but this is actually the prequel to Zootopia, and everyone turning into feral animals and then eventually regaining some level of consciousness and forming a new animalistic society. Pittsburgh is new capital. Why Pittsburgh? Why? Oh my god, it is Zootopia! I was joking! No, I was actually seriously totally joking. Furries now rule the planet, and conventions are no longer needed. However, as a reminder of our humble and troubled beginnings, the world capital is relocated to the former site of Anthrocon, and the city of Pittsburgh is renamed Zootopia. I was totally joking. Alright, congrats! Now let's go yiff our brains out. What? Alright, well, whatever. That was, interesting. Yeah, like I said, an incredibly easy scenario. Like, that took no time at all. Once you get into a country, you almost instantly infect it. It's super duper easy. But, you know, yeah, it's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, I like the creativity. I like that they didn't go in, like, horribly sexual directions like most furry scenarios do. I mean, it was kind of fun. Not bad. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. And mostly I appreciate that I somehow managed to glean that this was a Zootopia scenario before it actually revealed itself. I like to think that I'm a genius, but I think that the author and I are just on the same creative wavelength. Maybe. Did I say, yeah, I enjoyed it. That was pretty good. Not bad. I like it. I recommend it. Thank you all very much for watching. I had to go clear out my throat. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Suggest some more scenarios for me to add to the list, and I, as always, will see you guys next time.